In this video, we're talking about how can I stop divorce. Stay tuned.
What's going on?
Hey.
What up?
What's
Welcome
up?
back to
LolaandOla.com.
Alright, so the book is at getmymarriageback.com. Make sure you go grab a copy. It's absolutely free, so take advantage of it. You need to read the book 10 to 15 times. That will turn you to, what should I say? That will turn you to borderline. But just trust me, go read the book, okay? You probably will find it extremely useful. We have the story here that came into IGDM a couple of weeks ago, and we decided to address it. We're talking about how can I stop divorce, right? So a lot of people going through that.
Yes.
Filed divorce, right? We went through that, right? We went through that, or I went through that? Which one?
We went through that.
We
Because I
went through
didn't
that.
want to file divorce.
All right.
Okay.
That's the first lesson. If somebody file for divorce, you should realize that they probably don't want to file for divorce. You probably have done a few things, at least 50%, to help them get to that decision. That the next logical thing for them to do is to file for divorce. That's typically what happened there, and you need to realize that first of all, because a lot of time when someone files for divorce, it's basically you against me.
It's evil.
The person is being evil. The person is out to get you. They just want to hurt your feelings.
Right.
You're forgetting that they're also part of that formula, and nobody goes to the altar with the goal
to get divorced
of filing for divorce. It's just that people get there for an array of so many different reasons, and you could sit there and say they're just being evil. That's not helping you. That's not helping nobody, and that's only going to create bitterness out of nothing,
and it's still not stopping it.
And it's still not stopping it. You're still not getting your end goal, which is to stop divorce, right? So that's the first lesson you need to probably take away from this. But the rest of the lessons, we're going to have to dig it out of this lesson here.
So I would say
Out of this story. What?
another thing is...
Oh, she got another lesson. Let's go for it. Drum roll. Go.
Don't be obsessed with the word divorce.
Absolutely. I forgot all about that.
The obsession
with the word. Yeah, it's basically the same thing as attachment to the meaning of the word divorce that you were trained. You were trained to think divorce is evil. If you're a Christian, God hates divorce. How could you? And then you forget that you're getting hungry when you're thinking about all that. And hunger is just as bad as divorce, if not worse.
It's worse.
It's worse, right? Your reaction with fear and anxiety, all of that is going to make things a lot worse than the word divorce itself. So don't be obsessed with the word divorce, because chances are you guys have probably thrown that around a few times, and then you ended up attracting what you fear the most.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So a lot of people do that. They throw the word around in their house. I'm gonna file for divorce. I was the first one that did it in our marriage. It's such a horrible thing to do. It plants seeds in your marriage that didn't really belong there in the first place.
Yeah.
And you may think, oh, you were just hungry, but you're forgetting you're dealing with another human being, and the ground that you plant that seed on, you don't know that ground. And that ground could be a ground coming from so many other different experiences before you guys met, and that can germinate into other kind of craziness. Right. So you absolutely must avoid, if you are still in a situation where you don't have that yet, hopefully, or if you get into a new situation later, you definitely want to avoid the threats of divorce.
Sure, because doesn't work.
Because that threat is coming out of fear, and you will attract what you fear the most.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, let's talk about a person who's already got divorce filed, and they want to stop the divorce. They want this divorce to go away. The best way for us to really get into the lessons here is to dive into this.
Yes,
Into
absolutely.
this email question.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So he goes, I let my mother-in-law move in December 2016 to help with my baby. I let my mother-in-law move in.
I have a problem with I and let. Those are two powerful words.
Yeah.
Let.
So I is selfish there.
It's very selfish.
Even though we talk about self all the time, we don't want you to be,
it's two of you in a marriage.
Yeah.
We
don't want you to lose track of the fact that it's two of you in a marriage.
Your
mother-in-law is basically your mother. Right?
Yeah.
Your mother-in-law is your mother, and you let her to what again? To help with your baby. You mean her granddaughter or son? Basically, right? It's a family.
I'm just thinking in my head when you say you let, because I'm thinking how you are with your spouse. If you're telling us this right now.
Right, if you're telling us that story that way.
Yeah, how did you even come off?
Only God knows.
Wife?
Only you and God knows how you came off to your wife addressing these issues.
Right.
Because she's going to receive it as, what do you mean you let?
I let.
My mother.
Well, let's keep going.
It was only supposed to be for 1 month. My wife wanted her to stay longer, and it lasted a year. Now my wife left with her mom. 9 months now.
Oops.
Yeah, that must hurt. That must hurt. I mean, let me paint this picture properly in case you don't hear what's going on here. Your wife that you married into your house. Now, at least as far as you're concerned, you allowed your mother-in-law into your house.
Live with you.
That's how you feel, at least. And we need to validate how he feels. You know, that's how you feel. You feel like you allowed this woman into your house, and then how dare she come into your house and take your wife away? And then it's been 9 months.
Instead of a month.
You know, family, mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, sister, sibling-in-laws, those things are that's a word I'm looking for. Those things are time bombs. When you don't understand,
ticking.
Yes, when you don't take the time to learn relationships. If you don't take the time to learn the dynamics of relationships in general, if you engage in a marriage where you have in-laws, which is most of them, it's a ticking time bomb, because you're married to a person who has earthly, heavenly, eternal relationship with these people that are basically strangers to you, and you're gonna come to the table with a let type of attitude. It's a time bomb. You know, it's a time bomb, because even if she shies away from telling you how she really feels on how you talk about her family, if she shies away from it, actually that's actually more dangerous.
It's building resentment.
And it's gonna blow up real badly one day. And 9 months. Obviously, she moved out with her mother.
9 months. She followed her mama.
I know. So she said, he says, I haven't seen my mother in 4 months, and I feel like I feel like if I take it to court.
Maybe you said my mother.
I said mother? Okay, sorry. I haven't seen my daughter in 4 months. Let me blow this up so I can see, my glasses. It's not here right now. I haven't seen my daughter in 4 months, and I feel like if I take it to court, the marriage is over. Well, there's something you usually say about the religion of Islam. When a woman and a wife, and a man and a wife, if they haven't slept together in 3 months, that marriage is over.
It's over, according to the to the Quran.
So when there hasn't been any sexual intimacy in a marriage for 3 months, the marriage is over by default. I agree with that. I'm not Islam, but I agree with that 100%. What's there to, you may say, there's children, there's all this. Nah, bro.
But intimacy is a big deal.
Yes, it's a big deal,
Marriage.
So it's been 9 months. Clearly, you haven't had sex in 9 months with this woman, So marriage has been over. So You haven't seen your daughter in 4 months, and it looks like somebody is blocking you from seeing your daughter. It may not be a bad idea to go to the court. However, I want to be sensitive and understand that you were in a relationship, intimate relationship with this woman. That was your wife.
Right.
So you don't want to just run to the court, obviously. So I would say up to that point, you're doing the right thing by just being patient. Hopefully she will change her mind. But I have a feeling that you haven't exactly let her be. I mean, let's continue the email. Let's see. So I'm just going to work. I did read the email before now, but I haven't read the email in a while. So I'm just going to work on myself and leave my wife alone. Well, when people type this into comments or emails, I want to encourage you to continue to send emails if you have questions, by the way. But if you take the time to type this into a comment box or email, chances are you haven't been working on yourself. You're not doing enough of it. Because if you're working on yourself, to the point that we're trying to get you to, we will have to beg you to allow some room in your brain for that woman again. We will have to beg you. If you get to that stage where this person is not dead to you because that's the mother of your kid, but in terms of having room in your brain to wallow in misery, right, you won't have any energy available for that. That's the point we're trying to get you to. So I'm just going to work on myself and leave my wife alone. My coach said, come on, man. Let's not deceive ourselves, right? We've been married 5 years, but for the last 9 months, we've been separated because she left with the mother.
With the baby. Yeah, with the mother.
Right. And the baby, right? I haven't seen my baby in 4 months. I went to the apartment where she and her mom live, and they still wouldn't let me see my daughter. So if you're going to the place unwelcomed, that's probably borderline stalking. I know your daughter is in there, but if you're not being welcomed there, that's chances are you're being aggressive. Chances are you reacted with fear and anxiety. You got mad. You said some things that you really normally wouldn't say, but you said them because once you say them, I was watching Dave Chappelle yesterday. So, I said that shit, didn't I? Right? It's stuff you wouldn't normally say, but when you're hungry, it's temporary insanity. But you said them, and yes, you didn't mean it, but they're just as they're just as hurting, destructive as they were. Either you meant it or not. I always say intentions don't matter, right? Intentions can matter, but in relationships, if you say the wrong thing, it will stick for a long time. It will take you a lot of work to fix it.
Yep, and I always say according to our language, I mean our culture, Yoruba culture.
Say it. Go for it.
Words are like eggs.
Yes.
Once they drop, you can't fix it. You can't put it back together.
You can't put it back together. They're like eggs.
You planted that word into that person's brain, and
once it drops,
it'll take a while.
Can't put it back together. Even if it's cooked, boiled. Once those cracks are there, you can't put it back together.
You really can't put it back together. Yeah.
Fact. All right, so I went to you were stalking. Sorry, you were stalking. It is what it is.
You got paranoid. You panicked.
But I understand.
Yeah.
You got paranoid. You panic. Somebody took your wife away. Your child. Her evil mother-in-law. Right. Some people call them monster-in-law. Right. I tell people from a long time now, not just after we got into stuff, but long time ago, the whole idea of mother-in-law is it came to me as it's a natural thing for somebody to be territorial over their child.
Especially women.
Women especially. It's such a natural thing. And they will argue with me, obviously, that no, I'm never going to be such a mother-in-law. Yes, you're going to be a mother-in-law like that. You will be, unless you've gone through this school of life, and you understand how this works, and you refuse deliberately to be that kind of mother. But even at that, it takes a hard work for you to see a woman who's married to your son literally doing what you consider wrong, or just something that doesn't sit well with you. It doesn't have to be wrong.
It doesn't even have to be wrong.
And you're just annoyed. You're just pissed off. It's such a natural thing that every human being can understand. Like, yes. So it takes work and say, you know what? I'm not going to be that person. It takes deliberate
actions.
like no, I'm just gonna leave them have them space. Even I know people that told me no, I'm gonna leave them to have their space. They still fall into it.
Yeah.
They still have their little passive
Triggers.
aggressive ways.
Yeah.
Passive aggressive ways of being the monster in-law.
Right.
It's a natural,
It's very natural
part of life. I want to say that to you so you can have some empathy when you see a mother-in-law. She's just loving. She's just being a mother-in-law. She's just being a mother, you know, to their best ability, you know. And if you relax and just pull back, things are going to be just, you'll find out they probably love you more than you think. Because usually you had a post earlier today about don't assume the worst. You're already assuming the worst case scenario because you have all these stories of monster in-laws all over the place. And then you now show up, somebody is showing you passive aggressiveness with regards to your husband, and then you get defensive. And when you get defensive, they get defensive and attack.
Gets worse.
And then it gets worse and
Without
worse.
even spoken words. Like
Yes.
these are just assumptions.
And if it sounds like I'm giving excuses for them, that's exactly what it is. It is what it is. But that's what you need to learn and master so you can have a blissful relationship. Because if you don't master that, it's going to hurt you and you're just going to be as guilty as the mother-in-law.
Yeah.
And you have nobody else to blame than yourself. All right, so let's keep going here. So I don't have a way for contacting her because she changed a number. If somebody changes their number and they have your daughter, it's time to go to court.
Absolutely, I agree.
I know it's tough. What you should do is take 1 hour to cry over it, sob like a baby, you know, but go to court. Because for all I know, for all you know, you don't even know if they're safe. So, and the priority is to make sure the baby is safe, right?
That's the only way you're going to see your daughter.
Yeah. And anyway, right?
Yeah.
Because she'll be breaking the laws if she doesn't allow you to see the daughter after that. I don't have a way of contacting. Like 3 weeks ago, I was using our email to FaceTime my baby. And my wife accidentally called me back. And I had a new number, stalking behaviors. Let me repeat this, right? I was using our email to FaceTime my baby, and my wife accidentally called me back, and I had her new number. Okay, so he found out of the new number because
she called back.
She called FaceTime. She called back, and if you accidentally had the new number and then you used it, that's stalking behavior. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you have anxiety like the rest of us. It means you have fear now crawling through your veins like the rest of us. But you need to check it because it can really go really badly. Like if you ever watch Snapped or those shows, those are normal people that just didn't get a hold of themselves while those things were going crazy. We have a human brain in our head. Remember that. Just remember that it's a biological thing in there, and it's chemicals running, raging based on things that we're feeling, and you have to put that in check. We're all mental beings. Okay. All right. So that lasted 4 days, and she changed her number again. Why would she change her number? If come on, man, you've been calling her using that number, not just calling her, probably sending text messages, begging, pleading, being annoying as far as she's concerned. Right? Remember, we're talking about you. My wife reminded me today to make sure we're talking to you. Make sure when we're talking about you, we're not really worried about her. Hopefully, she's getting the help she needs if she needs one. We don't know. That she's not relevant right now. What's relevant to me is that you've done something that made her feel the need to change her number in 4 days. I can only contact her by email, and she hasn't responded to me on there since. If you have to contact the person you were intimate with beyond phone number, by email, going to Facebook to DM them on Instagram, and you have a child involved, it's time to go to court.
Go to court.
It's time to go to court and then work on yourself. And then wait for her to decide to come back to you. That's what she wants to do.
And you have to understand that you going to court doesn't mean you're being nasty. You're looking for a chance to get to see your daughter.
Yes, you're looking out for the baby. And that's the
that's
best thing for the baby.
Yeah, that's
the baby needs to have the father in their lives, and that's the best thing for the baby. Clearly, she has a problem enough. We know that for a fact. that she doesn't know that.
That you need to see your daughter.
That's a problem. If a woman doesn't understand that the daughter needs the father, that's clearly a problem. But again, we're not worried about her. We're worried about what do you have in your control right now. The things you can control right now is really all you have to work with.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let's keep going here. Thank God we have a mount. You can actually, you don't have to worry about bouncing or anything like that. That thing helps.
Oh,
that
nice.
thing that is sitting on here.
All right.
All right. So let's keep going here. It's kind of juicy. I hate to say that, but it is. So that lasted 4 days. I can only contact. Okay, hello. Okay, I did have one question. Should I still send money for the baby, or should I completely cut her off?
You have to do your responsibility as a man.
Well, based on the statement you just made here, you said for the baby, right? Yeah, you said money for the baby.
Take care of your baby.
You gotta take care of the baby, man. You have to take care of the baby. You have to take off your responsibility, more importantly, as a man. Because the idea here is that you want to get back to yourself that attracted her in the first place. And that was a confident man. That was a man who took care of his responsibility. That was a man who somehow she had the perception in her head, showed up like a man.
Right.
Or somehow she got some, whatever realization she's had right now, something happened.
Something happened.
And that's not there. That includes the fact that you will even ask me if you should continue to take care of your baby. If you had to ask me that you should continue to take care of your baby, that relationship has tampered with your confidence level. Because if you're confident as a man, you know for a fact, you know that you always take care of your responsibility.
You have to.
As a man. So that's messing with your confidence there, you know. So I pay all our bills while she left and lived with her mom. They got an apartment together. Well, the previous statement you said was that you send money for baby, but now you're saying you pay all our bills. Typically, when people say that to us, is because they're trying to assume or make a statement that is the baby, what do you call it?
Child support.
Is the child support money that they're living on. That's really none of your business. It's the business of her, what she spent the money on, and the court. If you don't agree with that, you have to deal with the court and that. If you want to take it to court and you feel like you're sending money that's not fair, you need to deal with the court on that.
Yeah.
Chances are that's probably fair. If you take it to court, you're going to pay more. So make sure you're doing your math properly, because if you end up in court, then you become part of the system, and then they're going to detect that number for you. If you may be benefiting, make sure you know what you're doing when you do that, when you go to the court. But when it comes to if that becomes the cost of not seeing the baby needs the father in their lives. Right. Make sure you do the right thing on that part. So
but if you're taking care of personal expenses for her that has nothing to do with the child, you need to stop that.
Absolutely.
Right
Stop
now.
Immediately. Absolutely. I agree.
She's not your problem anymore.
Because if you're doing that, especially if you're doing that because you think that's going to attract her back to you, that's called bribing for sex. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't work. You can't bribe for sex. Okay? Yeah, you can't bribe for sex. I just got an email from an attorney. My wife filed for divorce. Ouch. So I know that hurts. I know. It's the ultimate rejection, But I always tell people, just remember that we all get rejected every day, one way or the other, in different ways. At work, we apply for a job, we don't get the job. It's just one of those things. It's just part of life. That's why she told you earlier, don't be obsessed. Don't get attached to the word divorce. It's truly not as much of a big deal as they try to make it for us. Plus, if you make it a big deal, you will attract it. It becomes real.
Yeah.
And if you don't make it a big deal, you have less chances of making it a reality, because it's not a big deal. It's just basically two people who came together and said, we want to have a life together. Right. It's as simple as that. They are adults, and one person can decide it's a wrap. And you may say they're obligated to tell you, but they don't have to. Obviously, they don't have to tell you why. At the very minimum, they don't have to tell you the truth of why they shut down. People have so much they carry around. It could be spiritual, it could be emotional, it could be physical abuse from childhood. It could be so many things that they're carrying around while they've decided that doesn't have anything to do with you. It could have a lot to do with you. It could be because of your mouth. Your mouth could have been wrong. But bottom line is that we all make decisions that we're not proud of in life.
That's true.
The point here is, don't make a big deal out of divorce. the way to stop divorce is to not make a big deal out of divorce. Okay? If somebody wants a divorce, say, okay, you agree. Let me know if you change your mind. That's all. If you're in open communication with them. If you're not in open communication with them, even better, to be honest, because you could decide to, like, you know what, that part has been over 9 months ago. Mm-hmm. Let's just move on. Have anything to say here? Drop it here, babe?
Yeah, keep going.
All right, cool. I haven't seen my baby in 4 months. I want to do wellness check on my daughter. Come on, babe. Come on, man. You sure that's what you want to do?
Or you want to aggressively be in your wife's
somebody's style when I do that, by the way. He doesn't feel like, come on, man. You sure? Mm-hmm. That's just another way for you to get to your baby. You know, I told myself that truth a long time ago. I said, the babies, when they say they'll be fine, I was like, no, they'll be fine. I take an offense to that. But eventually I realized, like, you know what? That's not what's wrong.
Are you even sure he's trying to get to the baby or to the wife?
Trying to get to the wife.
I think
if you want to get to the wife, guess how simple. If you want to get to the baby, this is how simple it is. You go to the court, because we live in a land that has laws,
right?
Enforced laws, right? And your name is on the baby's birth certificate. Right. There's documentations that you took care of the baby. You're still sending money. You have all the rights. So if you truly just want to see your baby, you go to the court. But you and I know that that's not the case, right? So this was a back and forth for a couple of DMs, you know. Then he goes, me and my wife use a co-parenting app. Would you say I should message her and try to work things out without fighting in court, or just leave it alone? Here's what my advice for you. Somebody asked for divorce, okay? If there's significant amount involved, as in like Bill Gates type of money, right? Mm-hmm. Billions of dollars, we probably won't be having this conversation, okay? Because those people are very focused on their purpose and they know what they want. And going to court for divorce is
a waste of time.
It's hurtful, but it's not that much of a big deal. Mm-hmm. But chances are you're just as broke as the rest of us. What are you fighting for in court? The only thing you should go there to do is do an amicable, like, listen, joint custody. Yep. We see the baby anytime we want, and I continue to feed my baby, and mediation. We want to be friends.
Yeah.
Yes. Some people say, even including one of my coaches, saying don't do friends. I don't agree. Friends doesn't hurt. Friends doesn't mean you sleep in the bed with them. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do that. But I saying, like, they just want to be able to pick up the phone and talk to you anytime. Absolutely, that may be your chance to showcase your new self. Right? Because you are going to be focusing on yourself. I'm sure she's going to talk about that.
Plus, you're raising kids together. It's very important that you be friends.
For the next at least 12, 13 years, you're going to be raising this baby together. And for the rest of the life of the baby.
Yeah, you don't want to have a toxic relationship and go and be taking your kids at the police station or in front of the courthouse. That's not fun. No.
That's not fun.
That's you messing up the child's life even more. Mm-hmm. So I think being friends through adversity works.
So as far as should you try to work things out, no. End up in court.
But
in court, say this is what you want. Joint custody. Don't be obsessed with the process. Don't try to work nothing out when it comes to the marriage and the intimate relationship between you and her.
But she doesn't want
to work it out. She needs to come back to that.
Yes.
You need to understand you're so awesome. She needs to find her way back to that if she deserves you. If she doesn't deserve you, she won't find her way back. No. But you will figure out probably later why. Because probably God has something better for you. Don't worry about another adult who have made a choice. Dust off your hand. Understand that you've created a beautiful life with this person. And the only thing you should be worried about is going to court so you can do whatever she wants as far as paperwork is concerned.
Right.
And then take care of your baby. That's your best chance of stopping the divorce. Because you're going to be showing a different type of man entirely. That's your best chance. If you do anything beyond that, you increase the chances of divorce because you'll be proving to her that to get out in the first place. Why she wanted to run away in the first place. Are we making sense? Yes. All right. So he shouldn't message this girl to walk anything out, right?
What's the point? He did that every time. And she kept changing her numbers. She won't change it again.
So change numbers again,
yes. Right? Yes. It's like he doesn't understand
our phone, change our Facebook.
Yeah.
Change our friends on Facebook.
Yeah, she just won't disappear from the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Do it one more time.
Not good, dude.
I can guarantee you're not going to find her anymore.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Please.
So, but he goes, fighting in court or just leave it alone? Just leave it alone.
We didn't say fight in court.
Yeah.
Go
and
to the court.
not fighting in court. Absolutely not.
We're not
just
asking
leave
to
it
fight
alone.
dirty. When you go to court, go as you're trying to settle something amicable.
We're a living testimony of this. Okay? All right? I said, sure. I said, just because of the babies, we got to make sure counselors advise us properly. And I said, what else did I say? Let me know if you change your mind. Right? And then the only extra that I did that I would consider extra is I sent you a text message to say that, so you can read it whenever your mind is settled without me being in your face.
Right. And because it wasn't in my face. Let me ask
you, the text message that I sent you, did you read it multiple times after that?
Did I read the message?
Yeah, the text message that I sent you where I said, I understand, but because of the babies, let's just make sure the babies don't become victims of legal loopholes. Did you read that?
I understood what you were.
But did you read it multiple times?
Maybe twice.
A few times. She see, this is something that happened in the past when we were having the toxic situation, right? People took screenshots of conversations. So if people are going to take any type of screenshot, since I know that for a fact, people take screenshot of messages. You need to really think well about what you're going to be typing into any messages, because you've probably sent messages to this lady while you had her number, all these images and very hungry things that you've said, and she took screenshots and she keeps showing it to people that will continue to instigate.
And I would say that him just letting go and saying, okay, sure, let's just do this so we can make sure the babies are secured, it put my mind at peace, and that made me want to go into family mediation instead of, oh no, let's go fight. I didn't want to go fight.
Right.
Let's be amicable.
Right. Right.
And because we have that friendship, we're able to,
Right. Because this gentleman mentioned that we didn't say what happened after the divorce. Well, there was no divorce because she filed the paperwork. I pulled it out. Yes, and she pulled the divorce because clearly she was in a state where she could pull it out. If I was still in her face and I was trying to work things out, she would probably still be angry and and she won't have the room.
And another thing is the attraction came back. Secondly, what was the problem in the marriage wasn't there anymore. Like you start to see a different being. You see that they are really doing what they need to do.
Right.
That makes you, and again, I had time to think.
She had time to think because I'm not in her face trying to convince her.
Exactly.
She thought of the decision by herself and decided by herself. If I had found, let's say I was even that good at manipulation and I manipulated you to come back, it's probably not going to last.
No, it won't last because I had to see it. I didn't want to hear it. See, this is the problem. When you say, but I'm telling her, I love you. When someone
she's not hearing you.
She's not hearing you. She doesn't want to hear that. She wants to see the action.
She wants to be out. She needs to run.
She wants to see it for herself.
Right.
And if you give her that space, I guarantee you that you don't even have to go there for her to know that you are doing better on your own.
Now, to leave proper expectations, where I learned that from was actually a couple that did not get back together until after 3 years of divorce.
See? People can even go divorce and still
come back together. And the funny thing, I would hear sometimes like people can do that, but not only that, people will tell you, she says it out of her mouth. She will say it a few times, like, I don't know where this is going, but maybe God will bring us back together later. She will even say things like that, and I could see in her face that she's not there. She's, whatever happened in the past that made her hungry, it's just
because every time I'm in her face too, I needed to focus on myself. I needed to find myself.
Right.
I needed to find my center.
Women especially say that a lot. I need to find myself, but people don't listen. Not just women. Some men say that too. If your significant other says they need to find themselves, don't try to understand that. If you have my personality, you want to get to the bottom of that. What does that mean? Right?
Yeah.
You're thinking of it science. You can't
fix everything.
Logically, you can't fix everything. You gotta let it go. Let it go. Let them go figure what that out. By the way, that's a real thing to figure someone's, because you need to figure yourself out. This is a good moment for you to learn yourself.
Right.
And what is making you want to find out why now? What is that thing? What is your part of your personality that's making you want to fix the whole world, want to be Mr. Nice Guy? What is that part of yourself that's not healthy anyway? That's making you being taken for granted that way, if that's how you read meanings to it or whatever what is it about you that makes you talk the way you talk, that makes you think the way you think, that makes you want to fight when the other person is not fighting? What is it about you that's you need to take the time to learn that?
Yeah, and what I see mostly is the panic. Once you stop panicking, calm down, realize that you can't force another human being to be with you in the moment. Just don't try to control things. Let go. It's not easy, but let go. And then let God. Like literally start talking to God.
Yes.
Literally start reading books that makes you feel better.
Self-development books.
You have to do that because you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You need to have something that
business
drives you.
wanted to start that
Focus
business now.
on something else.
Yeah. That thing you wanted to always do that you kind of forgot all about, you start to pick that up right now.
To do that.
All right, because you need all of that attention to go somewhere. Because if it doesn't, you're gonna come back to that person that rejected you,
and
you're
don't
gonna
want
make
to
things
snap.
worse.
God forbid. There's so many terrible stories out there.
Oh man, don't get me started. With
good people actually do bad things sometimes. They're driven to do bad things.
Because we have human brains in our head.
Exactly.
Remember that you have to nurture your mental state. You have to take care of it. Yes. Just like you take care of your body, your physical body, you have to take care of your mental state.
Yeah. So like you take care of your car, the detailing.
Yes. If somebody checked out on your relationship, it's an awesome time for you to reflect. It's hard, but that's what makes it hard, because it's work that needs to be done. Because on the other side of that work, it's bliss. I promise you. Now let's see. Without fighting in court, to just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. If I would like to email, so this was the last one they sent. He said, if I would like to email my wife about the marriage since she filed divorce, how can I tell her I really love her without being needy? This last 3 days, I can't get her, and the fact that she actually filed for divorce off my mind. What do you say about this?
Sign the divorce paper.
Send a divorce paper, bro.
Send it back to her.
If a person says they don't love you,
she will be shocked.
The last thing you want to tell them is that you love them. Okay. Just think about it. Let's take this back to high school. You have that girl who clearly told you, like, I hate your girl. You get on my face.
Move on to the next girl.
I love her. She goes, right.
No, let me even tell you. When I was in high school, I didn't. I grew up in Nigeria. High school parties. When you're trying to dance with a girl, and you ask her to dance with you, and she shuns you and make you.
And then you keep trying.
Move to the next one.
Go to the
That's
next
how
girl.
you act. You don't. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you be a hoe. But for your own good, it's good for your confidence. Yeah. Trust me, she's gonna take a look back.
Because you're at a party, that means there are options.
Yes.
If there are no options, you shouldn't be at the party. That's the bad party to be at.
Don't sell yourself
that means,
short.
Yeah, if you're not trying to dance with somebody and then they move away that they don't want to dance, don't stay there and be a sucky and puppy and all that. Because people get into marriage and take their life so serious.
Seriously, yeah.
You're too serious about life. Relax.
And some people even go into marriage with rules. Like, this is what my wife can do and what she can't do. And this is who my husband can talk to and who he can't talk to. You're headed down the hill.
On the other side of that, it's really bad.
It's terrible.
It's really bad.
Stop that right now.
And you know why it's even bad and worse? Is because the person you are bragging about, like, no, you're supposed to be that way. That person may not feel that way. So the day they show their true color,
but the day they can't take it anymore, they're just like, I want a divorce.
Yeah,
they're not even going to try to fight.
That happens a lot. People will just wake up and say they want a divorce, and you didn't see it coming
because they've been suppressing it. Not everyone.
Nobody gets there on one day. Nobody gets there one day. It takes time, and usually people just don't pay attention, especially men. They just don't pay attention. So I would say, Absolutely not. Don't go send her a message that you love her so much. There's no way to say you love her so much without being needy. That's
Love
actually
yourself
exactly
first.
being needy.
Yes.
Okay, because basically you need her to love you so you can feel validated.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you should never go into any marriage in your life if you ever need someone to say they love you to feel validated. You should never. You should always go into a relationship to give. Point blank, period. You should love somebody enough to be willing to give to them, even if they're not giving to you. If you get to a point and you start saying that they're not giving to me, I need to shut up. It's time to leave that relationship.
Yes.
Now, if they are regular human beings, chances are they're already giving you anyway, because that's what made you guys fall in love.
Right.
But it's really relationships. You go there to give. That's it. No more, no less.
And he said to give, not to be abused. So let's not confuse it.
No, I said you're giving.
Yeah.
Abuse means somebody is taking from you.
Oh no! Some
Yeah.
people. Oh, you just said I should give,
Yeah.
and then I become a doormat. And
Don't become a doormat.
No.
Yeah.
You have
Actually,
to,
a good point.
You have to know the difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Abuse means abnormal use of you, right? If you start feeling like somebody is using you abnormally, then obviously that's not healthy, because you start feeling that way. But when you're giving,
get to you
when
eventually.
you're plugged into your personal purpose and you're giving to someone you're in a relationship with, there's no room to think somebody that you're enjoying it. Remember,
Yes.
you're enjoying giving.
It gives you pleasure.
To give,
Yes.
right? Actually, when you're giving gift, it should give you pleasure to give. You know,
If you're
So-
giving gift in order to get something, honey boo.
Oh, and
you're
by
gonna
the
be
way,
disappointed.
when I say give, I didn't mean gifts. Okay, I mean give that person love in their language.
Love
okay?
language.
So you need to learn what the 5 love languages are. It's a book we absolutely recommend. You need to learn. You need to know what that is. Okay.
No one knows this thing. It's so fascinating because I didn't have a clue until I read that book, and I'm grateful that I read that book because it makes so much sense.
Yes, makes sense, right?
It
You
does.
read it. You listen to the audiobook.
Oh my god. I love audiobooks. It's like it's like someone is depositing something into your brain, literally.
This
Yeah.
last statement he made, this last 3 days, I can't get her and the fact that she actually filed for divorce off my mind. That's because you're not plugged in on a purpose.
He's still chasing her.
You got too much time in your hands.
Yes.
Okay?
What do you do?
Even if you got back into a relationship with a woman in a marriage, you must be plugged into your purpose all the time.
Yes.
Because that's what's going to create the perfect space. You know, there's this perfect space between magnets when you feel that they're like they want to join, but you pull
Yes.
them apart together, but you can feel there's that perfect. Once they go together, the attraction is dead.
Yep.
Right? Once you put 2 magnets together, or a metal right next to a magnet, it's dead. There's no attraction. It's just dead and boring. And one of the reasons why marriages are going dead is because of that boredom, right? But if you put it right next to each other, just like that sweet spot right there, you know, you will see them shaking, trying to attract each other.
Right.
That's where you want your marriage to be for the rest of your life. That's where you call bliss in marriage. The bliss is you're soaring, you know. You're not too serious about life. If you're in a relationship where you're so serious about life, you're so serious about bringing them back to you, you're so serious about stopping divorce, and you're stuck on the words and the way things are supposed to be, the rights and the wrongs.
The rights and the wrongs. Yeah.
Chances are your marriage is suffering.
It is suffering.
If you don't feel that way, go ask your spouse a
Yeah.
few times. They're probably already feeling like they need to
As a
tell
man,
you they want out.
You should be plugged into your purpose. As a woman, you should be plugged
Both.
into your purpose.
Both, absolutely, because that's what put you at that sweet spot.
Yes.
And everybody go to work, everybody come back, everybody are busy. They have that time, alone time. They come back together. It's
You
hot
enjoy it and
sweet,
you appreciate
and
it.
lick each other. You know, that's
Are
that's
you
that
trying to
sweet.
lick me?
That's that sweet
Ew.
spot that you want in your marriage.
Yes.
And maybe it's gonna be with her, maybe not. Right now, what you learn from this video is that it shouldn't matter. In
It's
fact,
the bittersweet truth.
yes, and when it matters, you push her away a lot more. When it all of a sudden doesn't matter, you have a better chance of attracting her back.
Should be curious.
A woman is more scientifically proven. A woman is more attracted to a man whose mind is not clear. Is it mind? Whose intentions are not clear, something like that. Okay, that's scientifically proven. Okay, once you tell everything and you're boring,
Yeah, you're born.
Attraction's dead. You know, once you start spilling over, I beg, I plead, I don't want her to go.
God, no.
I love you so much. Oh, they told me if I told her, I make it clear to her. You haven't made it clear to her. I think she's clear that you love her. Probably obsessed with her.
Yeah, she's probably disgusted right now. Like, I'll get it together.
And it has the opposite effect.
Yeah.
You know, so focus on yourself. Let's do that right now.
Yes.
Do the right thing. Do your responsibility as a man. Focus on yourself. She is filed for divorce. It's okay to go out on dates. You know, it's okay to, you know, but don't go into a relationship without learning yourself.
Yeah, because you have the same problems.
You have the same problem. Don't start anything new unless you master yourself. Because you see, there's a reason why there's over 50% of divorce. Because people go into these things, people say I do without knowing what the hell they're doing.
That's true.
You know?
I have no idea.
Any addition, babe? This is probably a long video. I wonder how long it is.
It's probably an hour.
No, it's not.
40 minutes?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Alright, guys.
But
Hopefully, you've been enlightened, educated. Go get the book right now. Read it 10 to 15 times. GetMyMarriageBack.com. Don't forget, smash the like button. Give us a thumbs up. Okay, click like. Share the video with people you know that may love to hear this. You know, you can send it by email to them. There's the buttons right below this video. And comment your questions right below this video. And we'll see you on the next one. And peace.